When you take a look through a fashion magazine, you see lots of photos in beautiful homes and hotel rooms, elaborate studio setups. And if you're like me, you think, gosh, I have an idea that would be perfect for that space. Or, man, I wish I had some palatial space like that to work with. But most of us don't. Maybe we have a small in-home studio like I do, or maybe you even rent a studio space from time to time. I often plan my vacations around cool hotel rooms so I can shoot in different environments. But when it all comes down to it, most of us really just have to rely on our own creativity to keep things interesting. In this video, I'll show you what I've done at home and in hotel rooms, all non-studio environments, but sometimes using studio lighting to capture great portraits. Let's start with photos that I've done at home. Starting with something simple. Here I used window light only. I waited for a time of day where a lot of light would be coming in from this window. I pushed back the curtains here and on a window which was across the room, and I made sure that the door and window were pretty clean. And then I made sure that the camera was angled so that the rest of the room didn't get into my photo. I knew I didn't want the stuff outside to be in the photo, so I made sure that the exposure was bright enough to mostly blow it out, and I did poses where I knew that at least part of my face would be illuminated from the window light. In this shoot, I used studio lighting, but not in the studio. Instead, I spread a small furry blanket on a couch. The blanket didn't even cover the entire couch, only the corner. So for this particular shoot, I put a pillow on the end of the couch, put the blanket over it, and positioned myself and angled my camera so that I looked like I was lounging on some sort of luxurious fur. I shut off the lights and had one strobe light pointed at me so that the rest of the room was dark. That way, you couldn't tell that my bike trainer was right behind me. In this photo, I used natural light in my bathroom. Bathrooms can be challenging because there are a lot of reflections from mirrors and glass, and they aren't always the most attractive places. In this case, I was able to use depth of field to blur out my shower a bit, which is reflected in this mirror. Using natural light inside can be challenging as well, but I took the curtains off of a big window behind me so that there was lots of light coming in, then used the mirrored closet doors in front of me to act as a reflector. Also in my bathroom, I pulled over a continuous fluorescent studio light and a ladder to get a high angle shot into the tub. Now for some classic boudoir photography in the bed. I again used some studio lighting, the continuous fluorescent, but this is just my bed. I have a clean set of white sheets on hand for this very purpose, which I can take out and iron on the bed so that they look nice. And here I moved my nightstand out of the way, and I actually took a picture off the wall too so that I was able to achieve that dark background with nothing distracting back there. In the interest of full disclosure, I should tell you that over the years, I've made decisions about my home and what's in it with my photography in mind. Meaning, when I needed to paint, I chose a neutral gray color so that it didn't interfere with the color in my image. When I needed to redo my bathroom, I had a small clawfoot tub put in. Not because I like to take baths, but because I knew it would be good for photos. And all my furniture is fairly small, so it's easy for me to move around. Oh, and blackout curtains. I like to be able to make it really dark inside during the day for low-key lighting situations. Now, just because you have red walls or a giant couch doesn't mean that you can't do portraits like I have in your own home. However, the next time that you need to make a decision about your home, furniture, paint, the next apartment you're going to rent, maybe think about how it could enhance your photography. Moving on to photography in hotel rooms. Still a home kind of environment, just a temporary one. When I'm headed out on vacation, I often choose the destination around my photography. Now, I'm crazy snap chick, and I realize that not all of you will do the same, but what you can probably do is consider your hotel room. Hotel websites have photos of their rooms. Check them out and see what might fit into a shoot. You can even do this in your own town. Research what's around, rent a room for a night, and then use it as your own photo studio. One thing that I always do is make sure that I can get more than one set out of photos out of it. If I'm spending extra money on a cool hotel room, I want to be able to have different environments for my photos. So here's what I've done. For this image, I chose the hotel for its cool interior. I was able to drive to this hotel, so I actually brought along a couple small fluorescent continuous lights to shoot with. I moved furniture and lamps around and was able to use these two and other areas of the room so that all the photos didn't look like they were in the same room. I chose this hotel for its cool vintage style as well. This time, for some of the photos, I used natural light, and for others, I used a couple speed lights. On the camera, propped on furniture, wherever I could balance it. And again, I got several distinct looks out of it by moving around the room and moving the furniture to my liking. For this hotel, I had a distinct idea of having city lights behind me in a photo, so I planned an entire vacation around this hotel room. Again, I used some natural light, and because I was traveling by plane, I also used my speed lights with a healthy dose of creativity on where to balance them. Now, I did use several areas of this room, but I chose these 2 photos to show you because I'm in the same spot, but one was shot during the day and one was shot at night, giving me 2 different looks. This is all about creativity, using the surroundings that you have in your own home or that you can gain access to, like a hotel room, and thinking outside the box. Wish that lamp wasn't in the picture? Move it. Wish your couch looked more plush? Toss a blanket over it. And on that note, I'm always on the lookout for props like a furry blanket. If I see something on sale, something that I might be able to use, I snap it up and tuck it away for later. So this type of photography is great for models, for fashion photography, boudoir style. But another time that this type of photography, this getting creative with your surroundings, would be helpful is just in your standard family portraiture. Sometimes a family wants their portraits taken at home because it's more comfortable, or because they have a beautiful home or a garden that they'd like to show off. So by practicing in your own home or in your hotel room while you're on vacation, you'll be readying yourself to roll with the punches and figure out how to best use your environment. I've shown you a bunch of examples in this video. Some of them were from previous shoots, but the first one was from a shoot I did this week by a window in my home. I have another sample photo along with technical details for you at snapchick.com. Follow the link that is in the description of this video to find it. And VIPs, I have a gallery of images for you, plus an additional video with more technical details from the shoot and from my editing process.